Well, first it was Lumpy Pillow Guy, and now killer Kyle Rittenhouse has went broke. I thought if you went woke, you went broke. But apparently that's not the case. Have you noticed, though, whenever these people goes broke, the one person who's missing in action is Donald Trump? I mean, he'll invite them to Mar-a-Lago. He'll stand beside them, give a thumbs up, pat them on the back, call them a great American. But then when they lose all their money, he's never there to help them out. He's never there to pull them out of the fire. It's just like, well, sucks to be you, Kyle. And if Trump can find a way to call Kyle a loser and make it all about him and how the radical left's coming after him, that's what he'll do. And Kyle Rittenhouse is just shit out of luck. But I've talked a whole lot about Kyle Rittenhouse over the years, and we've talked a lot about things on here over the years. One thing we've talked a whole lot about this year especially, we've talked about the grooming of the children, what children are exposed to at a young age, and what might happen if they get exposed to certain things. At the end of the day, I actually put more of the blame on Kyle Rittenhouse's mother than I do him, because she allowed him to be groomed into buying into all of the bullshit right-wing propaganda, and then drove him to an argument that wasn't his to have and dropped him off in the middle of it. Everybody sits back all the time, oh, Brando, man, we can't allow our kids to go to drag shows, man, ain't telling what they're liable to go out and do. Well, so far, anytime someone is exposed to the right-wing propaganda and is told that their side is being erased and that their lifestyle is being erased and that they're being done away with and their rights are being trampled upon, when people are set and spoon-fed that kind of propaganda, they go out and do the drastic shit. They go out and put themselves in the middle of situations they shouldn't be in, and they go out and take the lives of other people. Now, another thing we've talked a whole lot about on here is whenever I say Black Lives Matter, someone always chimes in to go, no, wait a minute now, Brando, all lives matter. They'll tell me that all lives matter and turn around in the same sentence and tell me, well, who cares who Kyle Rittenhouse unalived? I mean, that was just a child molester and a skateboarder. Oh, so I guess all lives don't matter after all. You know, the thing with these MAGA talking points is they fall apart really quick the minute you start to examine them. They sound cool. I mean, a lot of times they make it rhyme. Go woke, go broke. They fit on a bumper sticker really nice. Let's go Brandon. FJB. All this stuff is catchy little bumper stickers, and somebody out there in the graphics design business is making a killing. All these people is making a killing off of it because it's just so easy to sell it to gullible people. But when you really start looking at it and breaking it down, it all falls apart really quick because there's no substance there to start with. There's no real ideas there to start with. The only thing that there is fear. The only thing there is anger. The only thing there is rage and propaganda. And they roll this all up and they roll it into a ball and they feed it to people like Kyle Rittenhouse. And his mommy sits back and allows him. She grooms him to buy into that shit. And then he goes out and does something drastic. And when he does, he plays the victim in the story. Have you noticed how that Kyle Rittenhouse, ever since this happened, he's done what every MAGA Republican always does. They double down on what they did. They double down on the reason why they did it. They dodge any and all accountability. They blame it on the radical left. They blame it on the mockingbird media because they've already got those scapegoats already pre-built in, which allows them to never face any accountability or take any responsibility for their actions. And that's what Kyle's been out here doing. Anytime someone says he's a murderer, oh, I'm going to sue them and all this shit. Because that's what he's been groomed to do. That's what he's been taught to do. That's what people have told him. This is how you do it, Kyle. This is how you get out of this situation that you yourself got yourself into. And people sits back and they root and cheer for this kid and cheer him on, and his whole life is destroyed. And they don't care. You know why they don't care? Because when they was sitting there on that day, watching their TVs, watching Kyle Rittenhouse do what he did, they was living vicariously through him. That is exactly what they had been dying to do. And finally, they saw someone do it. And so they didn't care about anything else. They didn't care about the effect that it would have on his life going forward. They didn't care about the people that he unalived. They didn't care about the fact that his mother drove him there and put him in that situation. None of that. Because at the end of the day, they were sitting back going, that's what I've been dying to do this entire time. Because of their hatred and their racism and their bigotry was so strong that they was perfectly okay with a young man's life being completely, they didn't care, put him out there and let him do it. And then they have the gall to say to us that we're grooming our children. No, you all groomed Kyle Rittenhouse to do what he did. And now his whole life is destroyed because of it. So tell me again how it is exactly that you care about the children and what they're exposed to. You don't give a damn what they're exposed to as long as it fits your agenda and as long as they're doing what you want them to do. You'll let their whole life go down the toilet right in front of their face, and you'll sit back and it don't matter. Oh, but all lives matter, Brando. They all matter. You're not fooling anyone with that crap. Trust me. Nobody is falling for that. Because once you hold these talking points up, they fall apart. And they fall apart because there's no substance there at the end of the day. The only thing there is hatred. The only thing there is fear. Kyle Rittenhouse was groomed to do what he did. So tell me again what's best for the children.